All right, welcome to my FX Buddies, the podcast. So this is, I lost track of the episodes anyway. um, so it's been a week. There's really not a lot, but I know it's hard on the weekends, and I think it's been 7 days now since the last posting. So I was like, let me do this. Um, It seems like it. Okay, wait. First, let me do all the other stuff. All right. Um, for the YT, I will say everything that I'm going to show, because I am going to show some stuff, is for comment, critique, commentary, sharing, teaching, instructing, whatever, and it falls under the Fair Use Disclaimer Act. All right. So, you can find, so the video, if you just want to watch the video, will be on Spotify.com. And you can find my FX Buddies there, and the video will be there. The podcast, which also, the podcast gets posted to the blog. Oh, I have my window open. And the blog is myfxbuddies.blogspot.com. So then you can listen and look at the articles as they are on the blog. Okay, and then what's the other? RSS.com, also my FX Buddies, attaches a transcript after a while. Well, they're getting faster. Man, it's scary what these computers can do. But anyway, so okay, all that is done. Click join, subscribe, whatever button is there. So you will, if all things work as according to their plan, right? If when I do post, you'll be notified. All right. So it was a quiet week. Oh, it was a horrible week. For those that don't know, there was a tragedy. There was a wedding, and it was just awful, horrific. Over 100 people died. Over 300 people are injured. It will go down in history. And guess what? The bride and groom survived. So they have to live with that. It wasn't their fault, though. So it's not like, they have to live with, oh, we killed these people. They just have to live with, oh, all these people died at our wedding. Oh, isn't that horrible? But, the bride, I think, lost 10 people in her family, and the groom lost 15 people of his family. So the people who own the facility, they're already arrested, and now they have like a group, a committee that will be going around and doing fire testing and stuff. I mean, a little too late for those people, but they intend to not have anything like that happen again. So because that happened, they called a 3 days of mourning to the country, and there's no way that they're gonna revalue their currency during a 3 days of mourning, right? I mean, it's big. It's a big deal. Also, there was supposed to be, it was the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. It was the anniversary of his birthday, but they moved that. They were like, oh, we're not celebrating that. That's huge, right? If anyone knows Muslims, that was a big thing. So they canceled that, and some of the state heads from the other countries, the local countries, called them to give condolences for the, that incident. So it was a quiet week, but maybe it was already going to be a quiet week, right? We don't know. But anyway, yeah, so that happened. Um, and it's still pretty much in the news, a lot of the news. But all right, so let's move forward. This shouldn't be long. Um, but so you see the title of the podcast, Al-Sudani, Iraq is on the right track. I love that. Even though if you read the article, and I love this picture for those of you who don't, and that's why I chose it. This article pretty much has nothing to do with the RV, but I'm going to show you something else. This is kind of an ode to Sudani episode. So there was something with disabled people, but for those of you who can't see, it's a young guy, maybe late teens, early 20s, in a wheelchair, and he's in Sudani's office, and Sudani's giving him a kiss on the head. So they're honoring students that graduate, but I guess it's you know what? I don't know. I shouldn't say just because he's in a wheelchair. I shouldn't say that because actually it's just talking about they're honoring the top students, and it doesn't. They don't have to be, and I don't think they use the word disabled. I think they use special needs. But so there was one bit that I did want to read to you, but here. Okay, so the Prime Minister stated, this superiority is a hope that the government relies on in strengthening the building of the state, which every zealous Iraqi aspires to, stressing that Iraq is on the right track and that the efforts of those who work day and night have begun to appear and bear fruit. So that could go for the building of the new Iraq, right? Even though, yeah. So I just thought that was neat. Okay, the whole day, the other news was Aliyah Lock. Okay. Oh wait. So before we get into that, the other thing that Sudani did during the week, there's a guy. His name is Mustafa, and he has a show. So here, the video is actually going to be on the blog. However, the video is in Arabic. Okay, but that's not the point. Here's a picture of him. When he starts, he's usually standing there by himself, and then people, now they recognize him. He's been doing this about 7, 8 years. And it started out small, right? But now he's got a TV channel microphone there. So it started out with a few people, and Sudani calls him on his cell phone. And you can tell how excited he is, even though, I don't speak Arabic. I fast forwarded. I didn't watch the whole video. But by the time you get to the end of the video, he is surrounded by people. They're just all smashed in because word got out. Sudani's on the phone with Mustafa. But he listened to them talk. Oh, let me see. I put the picture here. Okay, so here's just him and one gentleman. Here is more people. Him and more people. More people. Now see the crowd of people around him. So, and then here's some women. Everyone, women. There's young children there. So yeah, so it was a big deal. And then here's a guy. I believe this guy's in a wheelchair, and he talked to them. And I did get one thing. They did complain about money. Oh, let's see. We called him. He began listening to the complaints one after another. The call lasted more than 40 minutes. Oh, here it says, listen to complaints about water and money. Okay, so that is just will make him more endearing to the people. And then, like I said, this image of him kissing this young guy on the head is nice, right? Nice imagery. Okay, so now I just want to show you all the headlines. Central bank governor, there is no direction to stop the sale of cash dollars, and there's a review of the violations of something I can't remember, but I don't want to click on the article and then you go there. I just want you to see and hear. Central bank governor talks about the dollar, selling it to travelers, and American relief. The Iraqi central bank, settlement of Iranian gas debts through a new method. Governor of the Iraqi central bank, 30% of oil revenues do not enter the bank. The central bank intends to adopt 4 currencies instead of the dollar for external transfer. And those are just some. I could actually probably spend 20 minutes reading you the different titles the same article was up under. But I won't. But I just want you to know it was very busy in Iraq today. Nothing about the lower denominations. Nothing. Well, there was news about the hydrocarbon law, HCL law, but here's one article, including oil and gas. A parliamentarian reveals the main reason behind not approving important laws. And what is his reason? The lack of consensus. But I don't believe that. All right. But that's what he's saying there. And down here it says there's 20 laws, I think. And there's way more than 20. Yeah. So the member of the legal committee confirmed in a previous statement that more than 20 laws will be proposed in the House of Representatives, the most of which is the oil and gas law, but resolving it requires political consensus by all forces. So, okay, there's that. A concerned parliamentarian is surprised that the oil and gas law has not been approved yet. What does he need? Well, and they're calling the law a he, right? Okay, and he just goes on, but he says this law is very important and long overdue, especially as we are an oil-producing state. It is unnatural for the oil and gas law not to be in effect yet. So for those of you who are pretty new, it was either 2018 or 2019, I'm not certain, but they had everything ready to go. There's 4 accounts, unless they've changed it. There's 4 accounts, and the money, the revenue from the oil, whatever, will go to these 4 accounts, and then they get a separate debit card just for those funds. So now, but now years later, they have their they have credit cards, debit cards, but so this would be another card that would strictly be this money. So it's all ready to go. It's been ready to go. But when you read the articles, they say, no, we made a new draft law. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on. But he does say it's unnatural for the oil and gas law not to be in effect yet, as this law must be based on the Constitution, and in some of its articles it stipulates wealth sharing, wealth management, and management of joint oil fields, and it must be based as well on the decisions of the federal court because they have become binding and must be taken into consideration. So along the way, there were changes made, and so they probably do, but I will say did, have to make a new law. But how can they be paying? Now this is just me. It makes no sense for me because we know before they pass a law, it has to be read 3 times. Then it has to be approved. It has to be put in the Gazette. Then I could see them paying out of the HCL law. But it's Iraq and they get to do whatever, right? Okay, so there was that. So they busted this guy. Shoot, I was gonna put it here. I don't think I did. Let me see. They found 90 billion, I think 90 billion dinar. It was deposited into the IDB, which is industrial, I think. It's a big bank. It was deposited in the bank, but guess where they found it? In the wife of a friend of the bank manager's friend's house. So it's just, I normally don't pay attention to things like that, but they're really clamping down on corruption. And yeah, that I find that it's not funny, but if you know me, I just couldn't let that go. It's like they just think they're going to get away with it, right? They've been getting away with it so long. Now they actually have a body that's holding them accountable to the corruption, and um, it's just interesting. They're still catching people taking bribes red-handed, and then they come in. If you've ever watched that show Cheaters, that's how they catch these guys. Well, yeah, it's usually guys. That's how they catch these people taking bribes. There's cameras there, or maybe the person that is doing, the bribe has a camera on them and audio, and then the cameras come out, and I don't know what they say, of course, because it's in Arabic, but they do show them, and then they arrest them. So you would think they would learn, but anyway, okay, so there's that. Then there was what is good is a lot of people are coming out to complain. They're pointing the fingers. They're saying, the CBI, you're complicit. You know that the corruption's coming from the auctions, which I know there's people out there saying the auctions have been ended. They have not been ended. They're still there. Matter of fact, I think in the one article, accusations haunt the central bank insistence on the continuation of trade chaos. And so that's why they're calling for Ali Alak to be removed, because they're saying, the buck stops with you, literally. You're the CBI governor. You can shut down the auctions. Well, he probably can't, but you would think that he could, right? And the private banks, now they are clamping down on the private banks. If you remember, there were private banks that were not following the system of going through the Federal Reserve and the U.S. Treasury. But this week, they did say, well, all right, because now that Sudani and the group that went to New York, they talked to the Treasury again. And so Sudani was like, look, you need to get on board or we're going to start fining you. So I guess they said, oh, okay. But they have 3 months. They have 3 months to get on the new system. So, yeah. All right. Let's see. There was one short article. What time? Oh, we're almost at 20 minutes. Let's see if I can find it. So he was interviewed by one of the channels. Oh, here, there's still politicians calling for us to get out. This particular one, the American decision still dominates Iraq. What do we need to get rid of it? Okay? They want them out, but that's not going to happen. Okay, I think this is it here. So, yeah, he was interviewed. The CBI governor was interviewed. There's no direction to stop the sale of cash dollars, and there is a review of violations of deprived banks. So let's see, they even talk about Western Union, the groups that are allowed to deal in dollars are travelers, people studying if they're traveling for a treatment, and special transfers. So what does that mean? Special transfers. That's you're corrupt right there, right? And that the bank provided this through money transfer companies like Western Union and Mini Karam. Let's see what else. He does say there's a gradual transition now to get off of the electronic platform, but I don't think that means the electronic platform. I think that means them paying through the Treasury and the Federal Reserve, because they're not gonna get off of the electronic payments. They still don't have enough people using them. So that's why I don't think that's what it is. And if you read this more, it goes more into transfers. And it does say the central bank will finally exit next year from being an intermediary in the process, and that the electronic platform will end and the transfers will become direct. So see, that right there kind of indicates that. So you should read these. But again, I just, like I said, I wanted to follow up. I know the weekends get quiet, and I wanted to just, do this report for you. So far, nothing. I don't see any proof of the lower denominations and fields coming out, but I wouldn't. They don't put that in articles. But you would think it would be on social media, but I don't see it on social media. So we'll see what tomorrow brings. Did I say it was Saturday? I did not. Today is Saturday, September 30th. Yeah, September 30th. And this should be updated. It's early enough where this will be uploaded and have the date of the 23rd. So yeah, hang in there. It's all good. There's nothing, we haven't gotten any articles saying the project to delete the 3 zeros is delayed. So that is awesome. We don't ever want to get that report. So I think they're moving forward, just not as fast as we want, but they are dealing with corruption. I do believe shortly they will be dealing with the CBI. Either Sudani's going to come out and say, look, it's not his fault, so leave him alone. And he'll be here through the duration, right? Or he's going to say, yeah, he's not performing and his time is up, so he's done. Oh, they are going to, another good thing, that's pressure on the government. The anniversary of the October 1st demonstrations is here. So this is the fourth year, the fourth anniversary. And for those of you who are new or don't know, there was demonstrations that lasted for quite some time. I can't remember how long, but over 600 people were injured. I want to say over 200 were dead, killed, and so that was pretty bad. Some things have changed, but not a whole lot has changed, specifically the rate. And so, but it's interesting. One group said, "Hey, we should demonstrate every day from October 1st to October 4th." So I hope they do it, they probably won't, but I hope they do. And it does seem so they were out there today, even though it wasn't October yet. There were demonstrations. There were demonstrations in Kurdistan because those people still haven't been paid. So I'm thinking, okay, we're hearing that the people are getting paid. Well, where are these people? Because there's people that are demonstrating and saying no, they're not getting paid. But it is highly possible they still are a class society. The politicians are first, then the government workers, and then it just goes down from there. So, yeah. All right. So thanks for listening. I hope this was helpful. We'll see, maybe tomorrow on Sunday, maybe something grand will come out and I'll post again. But I just, I did want to, like I said, let you know things are going well. We just, have to go through the motion. Oh, thank you. And, what do I close with? Accumulate while we wait for the rate to appreciate. Don't miss any meals and pay all your bills. And I thank you for listening, watching, however you're enjoying this content. Oh, no, there was another myth. Oh, October 3rd is Independence Day. It is not a new holiday. They've been celebrating their independence for like 30 years. I know there's other gurus out there saying, "Oh, it's their first Independence Day." No, it's not. They celebrate it, like I said, every October 3rd. So that's not that. Um, and okay, I talked about the auctions. They're not going away. And there was one other thing. I should have made notes. But whatever. So there's your demythifier. How about that for a name? Anyway, all right. Now, thank you. Enjoy the rest of your morning, noon, night, whatever time frame it is you are listening. And until next time.